The great guitar build of 2021. And guess who's taking part? Me! In the kit competition, that is. So I've been thinking which kit to use for a competition. We can't just have some ordinary guitar, which is why we have a Flaxwood Kit. In case you've never heard of Flaxwood guitars, those are made out of a composite material which is poured into a mold, and the result is this futuristic looking guitar without any wood parts. In case you also want to get a kit like that, there's BYO guitars selling those in the USA. Except I'm in Europe, so I thought the shipping and importing it will be expensive. So I asked the Flaxwood guys in Finland to send me parts, which they sent me, except the difference is when you order the parts from Flaxwood directly, you're not getting any inlays, and it's without frets, but let's see that as an opportunity to create our own inlays with epoxy. And it will be the first time for me to install frets. So in general, those are top quality parts. And if I don't mess it up, it should be a top of the line guitar in the end, playing and sound wise. But for the competition, I think it doesn't matter how nice or expensive your parts were, it's rather how creative you got with putting it together. And creative is what we will get in terms of the paint job. So since we already have a completely black neck, we have black hardware, I've been thinking very long what should be the accent color. And for the longest time it was gold, to put on gold leaf. But then I saw a photo of this car on the internet and I was thinking, how can I get this kind of paint job on a guitar? And what they use on a car is a vinyl foil looking like that. I ordered myself a sample, but the thing is, on a small item like a guitar, it would look a bit too cheesy, and I don't think this thick foil should be put on fancy guitar parts like that. So I've been thinking, okay, no more chameleon chrome, forget about it. But then, while researching online, I stumbled upon something else. A whole world of completely ludicrous flakes and pigments for fingernails. But nobody says you have to put it on fingernails. You couldn't put it on anything with gold size. So I've ordered all kinds to test them out here on this plastic knob. I think on the guitar most of them would look silly, except those kind of irregular flakes. Except this wasn't the ideal color hue yet, so I kept searching and found a different shop selling similar flakes, also in the green chameleon style like the car. Alright, so enough talk, let's get started with the sanding of the parts. So since the Flaxwood parts are made in a mold, they have all kinds of seams everywhere, which we need to sand out. So here we go. Alright, so here you see me sanding off the seams. And I guess sanding might not be the most interesting, so let me tell you about the other hardware and parts we have. We have a Schaller Signum wraparound bridge in black. Then we have black Goto tuners locking. Bridge pickup is a DiMarzio Transition, which is a Steve Lukather model. Should be good. The neck position is the classic choice, a Simo Duncan Jazz pickup, or SH2N. And in the middle goes a Tone Rider Classic Blue single coil. I've listened to the demos and that one sounded the quackiest for the in-between positions. Here I'm setting the fretboard. I'm using a radius sanding block. Now we're ready to glue in the neck. And as you can see, the neck heel has this special construction which ensures perfect neck alignment. I think there's no way to mess this up. Also, I'm not using wood glue for this, since these parts are not wood. And now I'm putting on some clamps, and it's best to leave the neck for at least 24 hours. Also, I put some glue in the neck joint crease, which we will sand later on. I'm using a very hard drying glue for this. Also, I got worried what if the neck isn't all the way in, but when checking the fretboard it was flush against the body, so we're in the green. And I've sanded the heel smooth, and there will be black paint over it, so this should in the end look like a seamless transition from the neck to the body. And not just look, it's about so you feel nothing with your hand. Now I'm masking things off and it's ready to be painted black. I could have used the translucent black paint to show off some of the material, because the material of the body in general looks really nice. But I thought these chameleon chrome flakes are already so busy that it's better to have just a solid black for contrast. Oh, and yeah, this body is modified with a cavity for middle pickup. This is not the standard thing. Usually they just have 2 humbuckers. On the headstock I want to leave a 5mm border that stays black, and the inside will be the flakes as well. I'm using this special masking tape. We're ready to apply the flakes. As mentioned, I'm using Gold Size, which is this milky glue. Gold Size works a bit different than regular glue. You apply it and then you let it evaporate until you don't see it anymore. And what remains is a sticky surface where you can apply gold leaf, or in our case, those flakes. And I'm using a makeup applicator which came with the flakes, otherwise I wouldn't have them. At the end I like to brush over it with a soft brush to be sure that only flakes that are really sticking to the body are on there. And I'm also masking off an area on the fretboard which I put on the flakes. And now I'm putting on the masking tape, which marks the area which should remain black. This is kind of like this shield shape, like on a Petrucci guitar. Those flakes, they fly around everywhere. So I was wearing a mask not to breathe any of those in. They're getting electrostatic and they jump out of the container by themselves. So this stuff leaves a mess. And now it means hours of applying flakes. Small problem. So I'm out of flakes. I planned it like that. I had my 4 containers. I wanted to see how far I get and then order some more. But now the thing is, the one shop that sells them is suddenly on a 2-week vacation.
Also they're in Russia, which means until it gets here it might be 3 weeks, and by then I will be gone because I'm working on a ship. I'll be gone for several months. I can't take the guitar with me to complete it there. The back and sides are missing the flakes, and
I have to accept that I failed. Okay, I didn't want to have it come to this, but there's a plan B. It's a completely different project because this one I don't want to do some cover up and try to, finish it somehow. I want to do it properly, which means, yeah, this has to wait for half a year. I will do it. You're gonna see it on this channel. And for the competition, we'll just do something else. Let's see what plan B is in the next video.